Okay, we're back again, and what I wanted to do is demonstrate to you how to make sure that I get this close. I'm going to kind of get up into the camera here, but basically you want to strip back about 3/4 to 1 inch. And if you notice, I did this other end previously, and right in here I'm going to try to get a good look at this. I don't know that it'll come in clear enough, but what I did is I pressed down on it and made a little mar in it. Whatever you do not want to do that, because what happens is it makes it weak, and that's what happens. It'll break. And because there's a small vibration in the wire, because it is 60 cycle and it's called a 60 cycle hum, the wire does move consistently inside the box, believe it or not. And that little bit of motion of that 60 cycle hum and that mar on the wire will cause it to fatigue and eventually break inside the box. So you're back to the same problem. Okay, we're going to go again here, and I'm going to try to make sure. I'm going to take my 20 amp receptacle again, which is for today, and what we're going to do is we've already stripped this, and we're moving on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little loop in this guy, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to yank it around here, okay? And then I'm going to take my little needle nose, I'm going to squash it a little bit. Try to get in here and show you this. And you want to wrap this clockwise around the screw so that when you tighten up on it, it tightens toward it, okay? Now you want to tighten this as best as possible and have a really good tight. Now, one of the things you can do is take a plug, a 59-cent plug, and tighten it down to show you where you'll wring the screw out and strip it out. That's exactly what you don't want to do, but you want to have them really, really nice and tight, okay? And now we're going to do our white wire, okay? Now let's do them in rotation. Electricians always do their ground, then their neutral, which is your white wire. Once again, we're not going to mar it. See, I don't push down into the wire. Sometimes it doesn't clean off very quick. And then I'm going to rotate this, make a nice little loop on it. Now you want to make sure you hit the silver screw. The silver is the neutral side, okay? Neutral side, silver screw, okay, and we're going to tighten this down, alright? And once again, it's going to go on clockwise, and what I do is I always close up the other secondary screw, okay? And then we'll go ahead and we'll do the black wire. Again, don't push into it to mar it. Make sure you got plenty of length on it. Then make you a little rotation. Okay? And once again, we're going to hook this on here. Okay? And you're going to use the gold or copper colored screw. I don't know whether you'd say that's copper or brass or whether you would say that was gold. It depends on how you look at it, but it is different than the silver. And then this is the gold side. So this is your high side of your plug, which is this connection here. This is your low side or neutral side, and this would be your connection here. And then your ground goes here, which is your little mouth, or some guys call this a little face, and this would be the guy's little mouth right there, here, and that would be your bond. or your green wire. Now, what I do to do a professional installation is I take this screw and I typically just pull them back out. And just I set them aside, okay? And I know they have the little clips to hold them in, and then that's to keep the screws from getting lost. But if I don't, it's difficult to do what I'm going to do with the screws in place. So what I want to do is I want to wrap this plug, okay? And I'm using 317. This is 1700 3M tape, and it's made in the United States again, and it's an all-purpose tape. And I get a couple of good wraps on there, and then this is what your backfeed plug looks like when you're done. Okay, what I want to show you here is that this is a three-way switch of the older style that was used during that period of time. And notice that there's no sidewire screws. This is a three-way, and notice where I've cut these out. You can put a screwdriver and pull them out and reuse these, but this one is, you can see the burned hole in here where this one was burned out, and the reason why it was changed out. This is a newer Levington switch that I've had in the shop. Hasn't never been used, but you can see the gold screws on this side. And if it was a three-way, there'd be a silver screw right here. And notice that there is no stab-in points. Now, when you're complete with your switch, it should look like this. And notice that notice you got this is a single pole switch, so you have two black wires here. If it was a three-way, you'd have a red and a black and a black. And the power leg or your switch leg, depending on which end of your three-way would be on, you would go on your silver screw. And then to meet all jurisdictions, jurisdictional requirement, I did put the bond wire on this particular switch.